I was speaking with couple of groups couple of weeks ago from Egypt, Turkey, and Malaysia. So we are working with people who left Islam and become a Christian. We do online discipleship classes with them, and they expressed their concerns, like number of Muslims who are leaving Islam is pretty high in those countries. So Egypt, Turkey, and Malaysia. Therefore, they are seeing like reasons to be equipped so that they can preach the gospel to those people who are leaving Islam. So Egypt is becoming more apostate, as well as Turkey and Malaysia. So there is a question on what are the differences between continental and analytical philosophy and parallels of those to Islam and Christianity.
I'm not sure about parallels between Islam and Christianity, unless I was to make a very loose one, but I'm not a good person to comment on continental philosophy because I regard it as a lot of gibberish.
Okay.
Like, yeah, so I would be in the contemporary analytic tradition, and there they focus on being very clear on what you mean in definitions, and then being consistent with the use of those definitions and proceeding in step-by-step fashion, building up your case from one point to the next. And yeah, continental philosophy. And see, here's what's weird. I know this is not correct, but basically, you know, I read Plato and I get it. I read Aristotle, I get it. I read, you know, Descartes, perfectly clear. Hume, perfectly clear. And then you get down to modern analytical, Alvin Plantinga and so on. Then it's just crystal clear. And I just remember in philosophy classes, we would have to read something from continental philosophy, and I would read it, not understand anything it's saying, read it again, not understand it, read one sentence, couldn't understand a sentence. And you start thinking, it's because they're not saying anything. It's because the continental philosophers aren't saying anything at all. And it's just a bunch of gibberish. And I don't think that's true. I just think my brain is wired. Certain people's brains are wired more for analytical philosophy, and some people's brains are probably wired a little more for continental philosophy. Now, if I were to try to make a parallel, I would say, well, you know, you can actually build up a case for the resurrection in step-by-step, very careful fashion and so on, whereas Muhammad spouted a bunch of weird gibberish like continental philosophy. So continental philosophies out there, philosophers out there, you're more like Muhammad. But I think I'm not serious about that parallel. I don't think there's unless you're thinking something else, but yeah.